Let me go ahead and see if we can get add zeros in here and see if we get the microphone to work. Clifton will help us out, and then we should have a pretty darn, good session here. I just want to get everybody acclimated, and we'll ask some soft questions, and we'll get into more of the trading aspect of it, and kind of roll from there. So let me see if I can get AZ in here. Can you hear me, Add Zeros?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just perfect. Can everybody hear Add Zeros or no? Give us a quick sound test. Okay, perfect. From here on out, I'll just say AZ. That'll make things easier. And yeah. We will kind of roll from there, and everybody will be, acclimated here. So we'll take about 20 minutes. We'll talk a little bit about this. I've done this in the past, and I think it's great. Clifton will have the recording here. And Clifton, if you'll send it to me afterwards, I would appreciate it. But we'll ask some background questions, try to get a little idea of the training curve, where you've been, where you want to go, and how tough it is to get there. So why don't you fill us in, AZ, on a little bit of your background, where you're from, maybe your age, and how long you've been trading for, so that everybody kind of understands, who you are and where you're from, and maybe a little bit of background. And traders, many of you, I think when you hear this, you'll say, okay, I know the struggles, I know the age, I know where he's from, I know what's been happening. So why don't you take it away, give us a little bit of background, and then I'll ask some questions going forward.
Sure. Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you for having me here, and I'm really excited and very pleased to be here with you. So in terms of my background, I'm from Canada, and like many other immigrants, I'm also one of the immigrants, and always wanted to do something good, like an American dream. Everyone wanted to have that dream, right? And
sure.
But I'm in my mid 30s. In terms of what I do for before, or I was doing now, I'm in the field of accounting, so I do account and stuff, everything like that, right? And
right.
And then after COVID-19, things started changing. People have a lot of opportunities, they have a lot of time. Suddenly, you don't need to travel, so you're saving time there, and and you can focus and you can build upon some of your skills. You can learn new skills. And I thought, why don't I learn, this wonderful, charts and the candlesticks and, on trading. So I started my journey. I used to do some, swing stuff because I'm accounting, so I understand some stuff. But, day trading, I've started started learning and doing in March or mid-April.
A year ago.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, now turning, yeah.
Okay, looking at a year ago. Okay, very good. So, here's a trader. Traders, again, 30 years old, Canada, coming on board, day trading for about a year. Probably had, like many of us and many of you out there, probably had some investing skills, buying some stocks, swinging some stocks, and kind of going from there. Tell us about AZ. Tell us about when you started and as you work to becoming profitable. That proverbial question that everybody out there wants to know, everybody out there thinks about. How long did it take you before you saw any type of profitability? Are you profitable right now? And tell us about that journey from when you first started to kind of working your way through now as far as profitability goes. And then also talk about the platform that you trade on right now and your experience with possibly other platforms that you've traded on.
Sure, I think that's a wonderful question. So, I've started learning or interest me from watching Mayor's video. And, and I love the way, Mayor trades, and I can see, go back to the history, is over 10, 12 years videos as well. So, 12, 14, and you can learn exactly that, what are the patterns he trades. And, so my focus always been, watching his videos over and over again and learning the factors, how, because he explains very well. What I did, I basically prepare my own Excel spreadsheet where I add all the parameters what he discussed in his recaps or in his discussions, and I know that okay, when he says that look at the SPY was down today, and this was the reason I traded. So I try to memorize, try to remember, try to learn the patterns. Whether when he was traded, whether the stock was above the VWAP, below the VWAP, what SPY was doing. You can't see everything in his past video, but when it is worth noting, he always elaborate in his in his video. So what I'm saying, that the one thing I wanted to tell everyone that is helped me to learn and to understand and to have a bit of successful whatever I have right now is because of the mayor's video. And don't take it as just as a recap. Just don't watch it like any TV show. You just listen. Take notes. Look at the patterns. Try to see that whether the patterns repeats over and over again, and how he tackles when there was something gapped up or gapped down. What are the formations? He looked at it, and and try to understand his style. Because if you just come to the platform and try to mimic his trade, it's good to do that, but you have to understand by looking at it how he trades the patterns, you will able to understand that where he comes in, what he looks at it, and try to build your own judgment and own criteria based on that, so that you can able to appreciate what you're able to appreciate. And then you will have a more foresight and more better execution with him when he was executing with you. So I think that's what I'm saying. This is the wonderful library we have. It's free. Nobody, I'm telling you, so many other, I know the academies or traders, they only sell their videos of the past transactions. And this is a wonderful resource, is freely available on Tradenet YouTube. Generously it's available. So I think make the best use of this. Go over and over again those videos and try to learn those patterns and strategies. And
I think that's a key. That's a key, AZ, and sorry to interrupt, and I'll let you go here for just a minute. But that whole YouTube scene out there, and all of our YouTubers across the globe that join us each and every day, all of it's recorded. Mayor's recaps are recorded, and they're out there. And I think to AZ's point, the way that you use them is the key. If you look at them like AZ said, that they're a library, I think you could gain a lot out of them, like AZ has. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I think, yeah. And, I had a IB, interactive broker account as well. But what I realized that, that doesn't make me progress very well, because sometimes they increase their margin requirements. So I have an account. Sometimes I'm able to trade couple of 100 shares of the same stock. For other stock, I only able to trade 100 shares because of the margin requirements. And I realized that was my biggest, making me fail every time, because I unable to control my risk. Because risk units is being changing, for instance, if a 30-cent risk, I want to trade the stock. The stock has a good setup for short, but you know what? I only can short 100 shares because of the margin requirements. I cannot share 500 shares. So now I'm limiting. I have only downside or upside on that particular trade is very limited. Whereas if it goes against me when I have taken a 500 shares, it may ruin my, risk reward ratio. So what I wanted to highlight, based on work, having and learning with the Tradenet, I feel there is 4 fundamental things if you wanted to set yourself, be consistent or successful as a trader. One is the technical analysis, which is almost free at the Tradenet, right? Then there is a technology. And TEFS Evolution is a great platform. and third is a funding. So all three things, you just can flip your fingers, and you will get all three from Tradenet. And I think this is I would personally feel that this is a wonderful contribution for retail traders, that you just pay a bit, you get a free education, technical analysis, you have a wonderful traders here, you will get the technology, and with very limited cost of market data, and also you're going to get funding. And once you have all three, what you need to just focus on the fourth thing, which is the fourth fundamental, which is psychology. And if you're able to just focus on psychology, and other three things leave to the Tradenet, what they're teaching you, just follow them, and I'm telling you, I bet you that you're going to be on the right path.
AZ, can you touch on your journey specifically about how it relates to profitability, and even if you're not there yet, as far as, I guess no traders were really where they want to be all the time. Where are you in your journey? How long did it take you to become a little bit profitable, or where are you right now, and what's your mindset here going into 2021 as far as trying to turn the corner and get to be, consistently profitable, is the way that I put it?
So see, what happened that initially when I started trading in the April and May, I don't know, but everything, when I see the chart, I just see the shorts. I couldn't see the long in any trade. And I don't know why I had the biases, maybe because of the market crash of the COVID-19 or any other reason, that it has a deep impression on my mind that anything I look at it, I only see short. And I realized that this is not going anywhere, because the market is keep going up and I'm keep trying to short, and unable to come out from that bias. So, I mean, that was my biggest struggle initially. And then what happened, I lost money, and then I realized, and I decided myself that I'm only going to trade 2 or 3 patterns, which I've learned from Mayor's video, and I'm only going to trade those patterns. I'm not going to trade anything else other than those patterns. And then I get, consistency for over 10 days, 15 days, straight greens. And then one day comes in and it wipes out all my 3 weeks of profit. And that one day. And it was keep happening until the last until December of last year. And every time that happened, the same thing. I start 3 weeks, 2 weeks of straight profit, and I do a one, stupid mistake on a one day. And I know what is the mistake is revenge trading. I just want my feeling. I want to nail down. How can he bite me? I'm going to bite back, and I take all my losers from that. And I think that feeling, it took me a while to overcome. And I realized that whenever I look back on the weekend and look at my trades, and I see, if I only exclude that one day, which is the very tail end, event, if I just take out that particular event, and I see, I'm doing well. And now the question is, how would I take this one day out? I think that was a mystery for me to solve it in my mind, that, how can I just skip that one day and never come to that point that I need to face again that one day.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of times in your trading career where it just takes that tweak. And one of the things I like to hear, and certainly like the way that you said it, was that you're using some type of journal, or you're writing down your trades so that you can go back, and especially on your losing trades, to figure out, it's the biggest nightmare for a trader to go through and to have winning day, and if you combine it in a week, to have a winning day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and to give it all away on Friday, it crushes your weekend, it crushes your self-esteem, and it's just mind-blowing. And that's one of those disciplinary things that you've got to get used to. You got to be able to do the same things, or on Fridays, just walk away early. Just, limit the number of trades and and walk away from trading. And I respect that, and I respect your journey through and towards profitability. Let's kind of shift gears here and talk about AZ. Give us an example now of your trading style. So I always ask traders, I say, hey, the first thing you need to do is you define your trading style. And you talked about it before about taking too many shorts or only looking at it on the short side and not seeing the long side of the trade. So if I were to ask you right now, what's your trading style, and then how did that come to be? How would you answer that question?
So see, now what I feel that first of all, I limited myself now, trading long hours. I used to do that. And I remember one day I, messaged you and I asked you, that I make money in the morning and I lose money in the afternoon. What should I do? What's the tips? And Scott answer were very simple and, very eye-opening. He just said to me, stop trading in the afternoon. Isn't it a very simple answer, right? Stop trading it. And then I realized that why he's saying that, because see, you also need to ask yourself, you need to there is a different temperament required to trade in a different sessions. So there is a different temperament, different patience level, different strategy you need for morning. In afternoon, you have a little patient, different way of looking at it, things, and then in the power hour. So you need a different strategy and different temperament. And I realized I do not have a temperament to wait to develop the trade in an afternoon session. And most of my trades go into profit ultimately, but I just cut too quickly because I'm afraid either to lose my morning profit or I just unable to see any downtick against me. So I realized that, I'm not yet equipped. I do not have that concentration, that focus, that strategy, which helped me to navigate afternoon trading. So I just stopped it. I focused on the 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1.5 hours to trade. And what my strategy, my style is, I usually look for gap and go, either at the long side or the short side. I look at extended stocks. If something is very extended on the daily, consecutively 40%, 50% overperformance on a monthly chart, then I find the point where I can short those stocks if it start moving in intraday lower on the side. So that is principally I focus, and everything happens in the first half an hour. That's I usually trade now.
Yeah, and traders, that's the key. And when I remember answering that email, one of the things that you have to really understand is the first thing that you have to do is you have to define your trading style. What kind of trader are you? AZ is saying that I'm a reversal trader, and that's the first thing that you have to do, because that will train your eye and you'll be able to start to see exactly where you need to be concentrating your trading style and apply that to the day. And then, going back to the message that I sent to him saying that, hey, look, it doesn't take a genius to figure out this. If you're profitable in the morning and not profitable in the afternoon, just don't trade the afternoon session. And I was very serious. And then going back now and redefining that, I want everybody here that's listening to think of it as being a thief. A thief goes in, takes what's his or hers, and leaves. They don't sit around. They don't have coffee with the people they stole from or took money from or traded from or whatever. They take it and go. So go in, use the market as a tool. Take what's yours. Get out. If taking what's yours is $20, $200, $2,000, $20,000, or $200,000 in the first hour, so be it. Get out. Go do something else. Enjoy the day and move forward. Couple more questions for you, AZ, then we'll let you go. We talked about the trading style. Can you tell us?
Sorry, Scott.
Go ahead.
Sorry, before you ask the question, I just wanted to add a few things for our listeners and for the traders who are learning. So, one of the things I also did when I was learning that, all the YouTube sessions have been archived. And I remember what I enabled this. It goes back to the Scott's point, the style. And I always struggle to understand, okay, there's a time happens that I mimic Scott's trade, I mimic Yogi's trade, I mimic Mir's trade. At the end of the day, everyone is profitable other than me. And I used to think about, why this is happening? Because I always pick the losers of all of them. So I picked the losers of Yogi, I picked the user of Scott, I picked the loser of Mir. And ultimately I realized why it's happening. And it happened because I'm unable to understand their own style. And what I realized then, I used to go open the YouTube archives, and on the YouTube you only see the Mir recaps, but you won't see the Amir's, Yogi, or and that Scott. What I used to do, I play the YouTube archive videos and go through whole session. So for instance, if Amir has announced any trigger, he usually analyze and give you some feedback on the spot, right? So I look at it, why he's announcing his trigger. What was the reason behind it? What's chart look like? I go back and study each of one of Michael's trigger or the Yogi's trigger. Go back in the time, you look at the YouTube archive, and I started learning their own style. And now I reached to the level that I understand if Scott's gives us any trigger, I know that what it was trigger look like. Just like if you take an example, on Friday, I guess, Scott announced the trigger in Disney, and I didn't take Disney, but Disney was also on my watch list as well in the morning. Based on the daily and other things, I didn't appreciate. Now I have my own style. I only mimic Scott, or any of the senior traders, if those trades go back and go inside with my own style. And why I'm doing that? Because I am responsible by my own probability. And trading is all about probability. And if you start copying everyone of one of the trade, then you won't be able to succeed. And I also exercised in the past that, 5 days, I decided I'm only going to follow Scott triggers. I'm not going to follow anyone else trigger. I'm only going to follow Scott's trigger. And that's where I'm able to appreciate more about the Scott style and start learning how he take his trades, what chart look like when he announced it. So sorry, this is what I wanted to say, Scott, before you.
Yeah, no problem, AZ, no problem. Good information. Two last questions for you, really. First one is can you tell all the traders here how you prepare, how you get ready for your day? What are the steps that you go through to kind of find the stocks that you're going to be trading for the day? Or do you simply, use what's going on in the trading room? What is that? What does that look like for you prior to starting your day, AZ?
So what I do, I have my own checklist. So first question I ask every day before I turn on the computer, have I had a good sleep? Is there anything which bothers me, in my family, in my emotionally, anything in the relationship? Is there anything which is something pending I need to take care? Because I realize that all these things reflects in my trading when I start doing that. So I ask these questions. How did I do last week or last trading day? Is there any lessons I've learned from it? I usually copied and put into my table, and I go through before this. Then I go to the Finviz and started looking at the gap ups, gap downs, with the high volumes, and I prepare my own watch list. And then I go back and reconcile that watch list with you guys when you post your at 9 o'clock, or then I basically started looking at yours and reconcile. Is there anything I missed, or is something you have highlighted and which makes sense to me more, given the dailies or or the intraday charts? So I look at all those things. Then I also 9 to 9:10 I usually just meditate, just keep it silence, everything what I make the notes, my pre-market preparation, I kept everything. make it release everything. I just focus. I prepare my some scenarios if and else in scenario, how I want a particular stock to move in, when I'm going to go long. I just try to keep some scenarios in my mind so that when this start happening, I can execute those trades. I also decide pre-market that how many share size I'm going to take for that particular stock, so that it will help me reduce, decision making on a real-time basis. That how many shares I usually, based on the ranges in the pre-market, based on the volatility, based on the past behavior, based on the first second minute of a candle size, I able to judge that what kind of volatility I expect, and based on that I also determine my share size before the market opens. So I prepare myself like that, and then I will go with the market as market offers things.
Yeah, very good, very good. Last question for you, everybody here. And you highlighted it at the beginning of the conversation. Tell them or explain to me what you would tell that new trader, maybe the top 3 things. I think you hit on 4, but the top 3 things to get started to make their path to profitability quicker, easier, and to have that discipline that they need to get there. What are those 3 things that you can really pinpoint that have helped you and that will help any trader in the room get better at what they're doing?
So I think first question you need to ask every trader that why they are trading. If they are here to trade to be an overnight rich, then this is not a profession for you. Then you should go to casino for gambling. This is not a profession. But if you think that you are trading to make as a career, as a journey, as to improve your as a work you want to do, this is something you enjoy, then you need to understand simple 2 questions, two points. One, this is the game of probability, and every ticker will go against you. You do not need to worry. What you need to do is just need to have your defined risk for each trade. Then probability ultimately leads you to be successful as a trader. But I know it's very easy to say cut your losses, and when I was starting this journey, I also heard the same story, cut your losses. If you think it's not going in your direction, cut your losses. But it's so hard to master that one, clicking that one button to stop out. Is either you're going to learn from your pain, or you're just gonna give up. Right? I also blew up my accounts on the same thing, and everyone has to learn it, but the sooner you will learn, it will easier your journey, because technical analysis is not difficult to learn. You follow mere videos, you learn from it. Everyone is intelligent, is easy to memorize. Where people struggle is because this is very different job, right? If you're an accountant, if you're a customer service, you go anywhere, you go in the morning, you won't be coming back and you're losing money. You will earn money despite the fact that you have not worked anything today. Still you will make money. But here you will put all your honest efforts, but still there is a probability that you're going to lose money. And you have to accept that. If you have that acceptability to that notion that in order to make money, you may have to lose money, right? I think if you accept that this one principle, things going to be much easier. I remember when I started, I don't let trade develop. I easily, I remember Scott announced the trigger. I took with him, I took the partial at, after 30 cents move. Scott is taking his partial after 80 cents move. And, and I'm saying why I did that is because every small candle going red, if I'm long, it's going red, is basically make me uncomfortable. So everyone has to fight with their own uncomfortableness. So this will be uncomfortable when you're looking at it, you're long and it's going in the red, it will wanna make you uncomfortable. But you need to know that you have accepted the risk when you entered into a transaction. And you can better learn this thing from Michael, because Michael is very patient from his trade. He has a very set style. He usually take $30, $20 stop losses, and he look at the longer term consolidation view. So from him, you can easily learn that, how he take the risk units, define his use units, how if his trade goes against him, he doesn't even bother for 1 second. He's going to stop out. And 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trade, it's okay. This is about the probability. So if the first trade of the day went negative, does it mean that every other trade gonna go red? No. Look at the Scott's Friday session. Disney red, and I think one more trade Scott had as a red. But then, home run in FSR, home run in AFRM, right? So, I mean, it's all about probability. It's all about continue to do the same thing again and again, and it's automatically going to produce a result.
Yeah. And there's no question about it. I mean, it's just so hard when you start. We're here for you. We've got, not only Michael, but Yogi and myself and Aggie and Mayor and Amir and Danny and Galia and the rest of the team here. Everybody's got their own different trading style. Mayor and I are somewhat alike, but not exactly. But I think that that's a good thing. And I think AZ touched on that, just now. So we're going to wrap it up here. AZ, I'll give you the last parting word. If you want to say anything to everybody here in the room, any last thoughts about your trading or your profitability journey. And then if not, we'll wrap it up here and kind of conclude. But I want to say how much I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to join us, go through this, and we look forward to doing this with many more of you in the upcoming weeks and months ahead.
The last word is
anything more you want to add?
All of you guys is, stay focused. I blew up my accounts. Everyone blew accounts, right? Don't try to size up, but don't go back to demo as well, because the emotional aspect is the important aspect in order to be successful as a trader. So take the share size, which doesn't break you, but keep you emotionally motivated so that you keep learning. Emotionally, advancement, right? It's going to keep move you. If you are taking 20 shares today, you have a 5 days of successful days, reward yourself, take 25 shares, 50 shares, slowly, incrementally increase so that pain doesn't go immediately and it doesn't wipe off all your profit in a 1 day. What I did in the past, I was successful, and then suddenly from 200, I make 800 share size, and I ruin everything, right? Because it's all about probability. So you made the profit in 200 share size, you lost in 800. Of course, you're going to lose everything. So always take incrementally. Try to make a long run. Don't try to make a short run. Take it long. Don't try to be rich overnight. You will be rich ultimately, before all your colleagues if they are working 9 to 5, right? But you just need to focus on yourself, on your own psychology, what suits you. Everyone has a different risk tolerance, different circumstances. Just take it easy, take one step at a time, and focus on your psychology and your share sizing. Thank you.
Yeah. AZ, some great words, and I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you taking the time. Traders, I just slipped down the deal that we have going on right now for the winter months here, going on through February the 20th.